show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Hello, this is Mr. G for the Midlife Pop Culture Show, episode 4. So glad to be back. Got a lot of fun. This show is focused for the baby boomers, some X generations, Y generations, and millennials. If you just pay attention and can put your phones down, you just might learn something. A lot of people say you lose your memory as you get older. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But let's have a little game here. I'm going to give you guys some facts. And at the end of the show, if I remember to ask you at the end of the show, we'll try to see if you can remember the knowledge that I put out there, or these factoids, as maybe the millennials might say. First fact, a cord of wood is 4 by 4 by 8. 4 feet tall, 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. There is 8 ounces in a cup. There are 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon, and there are 16 tablespoons in 1 cup. I was reading it off my phone. I'm going to shut this portion of my phone off now, and when we go back to it later on in the show, let's see if I can remember what they were, and we can laugh at me and say, oh, my memory's shot, or maybe memory's good. This is Mr. G. We will be right back, where we're going to talk about pool, end of pool fun, and chlorine, chemicals, all sorts of good stuff regarding your pool. Right after this on the Midlife Pop Culture Show. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Mr. G, Mr. G's Pop Culture Show. I'm feeling pretty good about myself that I made it in. My back is totally soaked. Now I'm going to try to get out without getting wet. I don't think there should be any problem. Again, this is Mr. G. I'm feeling pretty good. Help! This is Mr. G. Totally out of shape and uncoordinated. Water feels pretty good, though. We'll see you soon. Hi, this. What can I say? In the water I went. Wow. A little bit cold, a little bit embarrassing that I can't get myself out of a tube there, or whatever that was, a little raft. So let's talk about pools for a second. When I fell into that pool, which was my pool in the back of my house, can we get the first picture up, please? This is not my pool. This is how a pool should look. And for those of you that had pools before, you know, as well as I knew, that keeping a clean pool is very, very, very difficult. And you can get kind of obsessed when you own a pool, trying to keep it clean. Can we go back to that again, please, if you don't mind? When I would be watching a movie now, is how obsessed you get with it. A real exciting scene would happen, or a big something climactic is happening in the movie, and there's a pool scene, and the person you're with is saying, well, what a great scene in this movie, fantastic. And all I'm thinking of is, wow, what a nice clean pool. And when that happens to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're pool addicted, because you don't want your pool to look like this. This next slide up here is a pool with algae. Okay, now algae usually happens after it rains, and it is very annoying to get rid of. There are many, many, many different ways to take care of your pool. There is standard chlorine and shock. There is what's called Bacacil, B-A-Q-U-A-C-I-L. And then there's salt water pool. Salt water pool. And there's differences between all three. So if you want to make your pool, it's not going to be easy unless you hire somebody. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. But let me tell you, I think we're going to have reading time with Mr. G's pop culture show off the internet of how to take care of your pool, the pros and cons of Bacillus versus chlorine versus salt. And Kirsten, as I start reading, can you just keep going back and forth of the two slides as I read? Because I'd rather look at the pool than look at me. Probably that you have a face for radio. But what is Bacillus? Bacillus is a brand name line of pool chemicals. It is a chemical system that contains its own line of sanitizer, oxidizers, algicides, balancers, and more. While most products line is the same as other pool chemicals brands like pH, the biggest difference in the main liquid sanitizer replaces the need for chlorine. So Bacillus is used instead of chlorine. The Bacillus swimming pool sanitizer, otherwise known as PHMB, is a non-chlorine sanitizer. It is classified as a biguanide, probably said wrong, which is a non-bleach product whose main oxidizing component is hydrogen peroxide. So what we're basically saying here is now with a chlorine pool, you are dealing with chlorine, been around for a long time helping pools, or Bacillus, which uses hydrogen peroxide. How's that for entertaining facts? Then we have a salt water pool. Now, if the salt water pool system, you have to have a complete salt water system put in prior. You just can't switch. Unlike Bacillus to chlorine, you have to drain your pool all the way. Start using Bacillus if you're on chlorine now. And then the only problem, well, there's many problems, but one of the major problems of using Bacillus is after 2 or 3 years, you will have pink sludge built up just from the use of the Bacillus. So every 2 or 3 years, you're going to have to drain your pool. But you don't get the sting of chlorine or the salt of the salt water system, which once I said, you will need to have a whole different system. Woo, I hope I cleared up here on the Midlife Pop Culture Show the difference between chlorine, which I use, Bacillus, which a lot of people use, has pros and cons. They all have pros and cons, and salt water. But I think we need to take away from it, it's hydrogen peroxide on Bacillus versus chlorine as its main sanitizing solution. This is the Mr. G, or the Midlife Pop Culture Show. We're going to be right back with segment 2, where we're going to go visit some restaurants and do some restaurant reviews. We'll be right back.
It's a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
This is Midlife Pop Culture Show. Great to be hanging out with you guys for this recent episode. If I could get my words out quicker, that'll be better, or at least in the right order. It's time for restaurant reviews. My favorite thing to do. I haven't lost any weight over the summer. I hope you guys have, because there's so many delicious restaurants around. I visited Airport Diner. Airport Diner down on Brown Ave. They also have many, many, many different types of diners and restaurants up Route 93. And if you get that first slide up, here we have the menu. A brand new menu, as you can see. I wasn't very... It was hard to keep the thing open. I mean, I'm glad they're brand new. Okay, that's cool. But I don't know. It's just every time I lifted it up, as you can see, it kind of folded. So I'm going halfway. Do I want to deal with the aggravation of that thing opening and closing every time I do it? Or do I just happy that it's a brand new menu? I think you can go either or on that. But the Airport Diner also gives you this funny hat on the next slide. Look at this thing. Okay. They came over to me and one of my friends. Why did they give me a hat? Do they know that I do a TV show? Do they care that I do a TV show? No, they don't even know. Nobody cares. But look at, they give you a hat. And as I looked over, my waiters weren't wearing a hat. I looked behind the line. I didn't see anybody wearing a hat, but I didn't see anybody behind the line. I'm assuming they're wearing these hats. Maybe it's subconsciously telling me, hey, it's okay to wear a hat and have some fun at the Airport Diner. And the next slide, please. Okay. As most diners would have it, there is the traditional hit on the corner. Hit on the corner. Not fixed yet. Obviously, this diner, I would say the quality of their furniture, throw out, if you would. Throw out type furniture. I always see some sort of, you see something like this where the corner is busted, or you'll see where I was sitting was a little squeaky. I've gone in there before where they have large, when someone would cut this chair. You could see where the stitching is on the back is not that chair, but the back of the chair that I was sitting, I was the 1950s kind of close stitch with the little pin there and the bob pin that was coming out. So maybe my expectations were too high to going into the Airport Diner. But let's hit the next slide if I could, please, Kirsten. Okay. Somebody got a sub. All right. Is the wow factor here? I was wowed at the fact that, okay, I got a halfway decent amount of fries. Okay. I was not wowed in the fact that either end of the bun, there was no steak in it. It was useless. I don't think it is just such a big deal to put a little extra food on your plate for the customer. Did that have any wow factor to it? No, it did not. I was very, very disappointed with that. I did not get that. I got a vegetarian burger where I asked the waiter what the vegetarian burger was. He said it was made in-house because it had a little symbol next to it, and it was peanut-based. So I said, okay, I'll get the burger. This next slide here of where's my lettuce? I think is the next one, Kirsten, with the video. Is the video okay? I'm going to show you a quick video, and it shows in it the burger that I got, the chips that came with my veggie burger. Felt like they made yesterday. They looked like they were attempted to be homemade. Maybe they made them there, but they were certainly not crispy. So I had a few, and in the burger, would it kill you, Airport Diner and other restaurants? Would it absolutely kill you to put some lettuce onto? Well, I'm not going to sit here and rant or rave about it, but it is a sticking point to me when I go out. A little extra. If I'm getting a veggie burger, you would think, oh, there's going to be some vegetables on top of it as well, not this little wilted piece of lettuce. Oh, Kirsten, can you play? Thank you.
Lettuce. All I got is a soggy piece of green. Where's my lettuce? I just got one soggy piece of green. Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Oh, where's my lettuce? All I got was one piece of green. Where's my lettuce? All I got is one piece of green. Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Maybe some iceberg, some romaine. Where's my lettuce?
Where is my lettuce? That's a big question. There were 2 hamburgers featured in that video. One was from Burger King. That was the one that I showed before and after when I added a handful of lettuce at my house in it before. So Airport Diner, that was not yours, but there was a shot on that where that was the Airport Diner. Kirsten, if we ran that video again, could we stop it at certain frames if I said stop, or is that super hard to do?
We can try.
All right. Okay. So I want to run through this a little bit with you guys.
Where's my lettuce?
Okay. Stop right there, please. All right. That is what I got on my veggie burger at the Airport Diner. A wilted piece of lettuce. This is a veggie burger. And look at those chips. Uninspiring. I was not happy. I think I wrote that song. I think I said, where's my lettuce? And if we can continue on, please.
All I got is a soggy piece of green. Where's my lettuce?
Okay, stop right there.
I just got...
This is from Burger King. Burger King, where is my lettuce? I can't even see it. You know what I can see? The thumbprint at the top. I would be okay with the thumbprint from pushing down on it and wrapping it up than and having some extra lettuce. Okay? But I'd rather see a fluffy bun unpushed down and some lettuce. Oh, that irritates me. Midlife Pop Culture. Next, can we keep going on? Thank you.
One soggy piece of green. Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce?
Okay, stop right there.
What?
This is a Whopper with some spinach greens on it from my house. This would cost Burger King probably an 1/18 of a penny to pack that on there. Boy, Kirsten, doesn't that look nice? Doesn't that look yummy?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look better. I mean, would it? Okay, can we continue on?
Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Oh, where's my lettuce?
And stop right there, please. This is supposedly the made in-house peanut-based veggie burger that was, I don't know, under $10, maybe a little more than that. And they came with this sad excuse for these fries that tasted old. And there's that sad little lettuce. Look at that thing. Come on. Really? Really? Continue on, please. Thank you, Kirsten.
All I got was one piece of green. Where's my lettuce? All I got is one piece of green. Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Would it kill you to give me some more lettuce? Maybe some iceberg, some romaine. Where's my lettuce?
Wow. Okay. Where's my lettuce on the Midlife Pop Culture Show? Right below at the Manchester Studios here, there is a restaurant named Margaritas. Okay, I don't drink, but that does sound good on a hot day like today. So I went there on the way out 2 weeks ago, took some pictures, and could you show that first picture, please? Okay, this is the inside of Margaritas, looking out. Not bad, kind of clean, very happy with it. And the next one, please. This is a Mexican restaurant, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. This was a vegetarian, can't say how it was on the Mexican restaurant. I'll just probably pronounce it wrong, but look at that. You know what my lettuce is? It's at Margaritas on Elm Street. Look at that thing. And inside there was beans, rice, must have been some cilantro. Look at that. That gets the Where's My Lettuce award for, yeah, thanks for my lettuce. Look, now that brings a tear to my eye. And it was delicious, too. And I didn't feel weighed down after I ate it because it had all that beautiful vegetarian. Now, that's nice. Would I stop tonight and maybe get that on the way out? Could be. Or maybe I'm going to get this one. The next slide, please. Okay, this is the beef burrito with fries. My better half ordered this. Inside there is hamburger with some good spices. She said it was delicious. The French fries were good, kind of, but that's okay. There's always a fancy word for mixing two different things together. But that wasn't terrible. That was a total takeout cost was about $23 for both things there. So there, what can I tell you? Let's see, do we have another picture on there, Kirsten? How are we doing for time, dear?
I don't think it's from this restaurant.
No?
Chow mein.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's go to that one. Let's continue on our fun. Oh, boy. Oh, chicken chow mein at North Gardens. Look at that. If I got to get rid of that chicken, look at that. It has julienne vegetables. It looks light. It looks bright. I love it. I love you. And in Chinese restaurants, as you know, when you find a good one, you tend to stick with it. So a lot of times I've been to some Chinese restaurants and you're like, oh, God, terrible. But this one, consistent. This is North Gardens in Pinardville. And I'm sure everybody in their hometown has their own type of Chinese restaurant that you favor. And that's beautiful right there. Beautiful. And I think you have one more slide of that. The world famous sesame seed chicken in new and improved white box. Oh, these had the black box around there. Now we got the white. They got the fresh sesame seeds. Basically, how sesame seed chicken is, or General Tao's chicken, it is usually a fried chicken. And then after it's fried like a chicken finger, then it is tossed or rolled in a mixing bowl in some sort of liquid marinade that sticks to the fried chicken. General Tao's is like that. Sesame seed chicken is like that. Sweet and sour chicken is also like that. Basically use the same product, but the technique is different, and this was fabulous. So not too bad. Airport Diner, it is what it is. North Gardens, fabulous. Margaritas downstairs, delicious. I want some more lettuce. Let me tell you. How are we doing for time? I have another segment, or are we running out?
Sorry, about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, good. We're going to switch gears here now and talk TV. Someone told me the other day that The Big Bang Theory, which I've talked about before, which is a show that has made nerds cool. This show is about 5 scientist-type young people, young being mid-20s, now they're probably in their mid-30s. The premise of the show was they always hung out together, very close-knit group, and then a very interesting young lady. Could I have the first slide up there? I think it says, okay. This is Sheldon Cooper in the middle. He is the head nerd. His character is he's super wicked smart, as you would say in New Hampshire. And the girl next to her plays a girl named Penny, which she moved in next door about 10 years ago across the apartment and changed their world forever. For the better, for the worse. Because now, going into their 10th or 11th season, the guy next to him, which you might recognize from Roseanne in the jacket and glasses, he is now married on the show to Penny. Wallowitz, which is the guy with the Paul McCartney Beatles haircut, he is now married off. And I believe Sheldon is also married off to, she's cut out in the frame, but it was the girl who played, I'm going blank. She played on a famous sitcom in the 70s, which will come to me after the show. And she also plays the character Amy Farrah Fowler, which is a very nerdy, smart person on the show as well. The only person that's not married off on the show is the guy at the very right or left of it in the vest. Kupra Polly is, I believe his name is on the show. And I am hoping they are going to marry him off because he has been hit and miss on his girlfriends throughout the whole show. At the beginning of the show, Cooper Pauly could not even talk to women unless he was drinking. And they all were, basically what happened on the show, it made being cool, or it made being a nerd or intelligent or smart very cool and chic. They had some, I know some educators that use some of the scenes at the very beginning showing how they have a hard time understanding sarcasm, how they have understanding relationship roles. There's a super lot that went on at the beginning of this show about social interaction. And I'm a big fan. I'm kind of glad it's going off the air. I'm kind of disappointed it's going off the air, but it'll never really actually be off the air, because there's a spin-off of the show called Young Sheldon, which shows Sheldon Cooper, the guy in the blue T-shirt, as a junior high school student who's like 8 or 9 years old when he's in junior high and high school. I'm hoping that's going to continue on, and there'll be some spin-offs from this very well done, thought out show. I could do without the laugh tracks, but that's an argument for another show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've covered a lot of show. We can come out of that frame. There I am, looking pretty good. School's starting up for everybody. Be mindful, millennials. Be respectful, adults. Be respectful to the millennials. I think it's a two-way street. This is Mr. G for Midlife Pop Culture. And I think to let us out of the show, let's show out of shape me falling into the pool again. Is that possible? Because I thought that was pretty funny. Good way to end it. Hi, this is Mr. G, Mr. G's Pop Culture Show. I'm feeling pretty good about myself that I made it in. My back is totally soaked. Now I'm going to try to get out without getting wet. I don't think there should be any problem. Again, this is Mr. G. I'm feeling pretty good. Help! This is Mr. G. Totally out of shape and uncoordinated. Water feels pretty good, though. We'll see you soon.
It's a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.